Hey, what's up? This is Gardetrace. Dragon Ball Super episode 130. Well, it wasn't boring. That's more than what I can say for the previous episode, because the previous episode put me to sleep. When it comes to this episode, however, it addressed the problems that I had with the last episode. Because the last episode reused animation from the opening sequence that we've seen 50 times by now. And also, so much time is being spent cut away from the action in order to show the characters observing, spouting exposition. It's like, show me what is going on in the ring. Show me the fight. Well, in this episode, they did just that. And in terms of animation quality, this is definitely the best episode of Dragon Ball Super. However, this episode is still full of its own problems. While the fight may have been fun to look at, every other aspect of this episode was so fucking horribly flawed in one way or another. Before I go into that though, I will talk about the animation of this episode, because it's about time we got an episode that looked like this, because we've gotten bits and pieces of Dragon Ball Super showing this level of quality ever since Shida first stepped in and he animated that fight of Goku and Future Trunks versus Goku Black and Zamasu. Anytime you see this guy working on an episode, you can guarantee it'll look good. Especially when you see how the line art, how the detailing in the line art is much more present, and also just the shading, the colors pop out more, the characters pop out more, because the big problem with Dragon Ball Super was it looked flat as fuck. Because especially early Super, it looked so fucking flat it was ridiculous. This episode really showcased what modern Dragon Ball animation should be looking like at this point. It should be looking better than what came before it. What came before it was 18 years ago, so there's no excuses for the animation quality to be lower than that of an anime from the early 90s. So this episode right here, and a few other episodes where Shida had worked on, this right here shows just how Dragon Ball should be looking, and I gotta give this episode props. Now when it comes to animation quality, this is probably the best fight of the series, but in every other aspect, it's not. Now we have Ultra Instinct Goku here, and he has mastered the form. However, the writers have royally fucked up what Ultra Instinct is. Ultra Instinct, also known as Mastery of Self-Movement or Secret of Selfishness, this technique is unlike anything that's ever been showcased before within the series. Ever since we first got hinted towards what it is back in Resurrection F. It is a form where the user is moving independently of thought, because thinking before you move slows you the fuck down. So one who masters Ultra Instinct will learn how to move independently and avoid all danger. This is what Whis has been showcasing to the likes of Goku and Vegeta, and why they've never been able to touch Whis during their training exercises. So this is not a transformation like the Super Saiyan. This is not a multiplier of your base power level. This is something entirely different. So we have Goku with Mastered Ultra Instinct, and he's handing Jiren his ass. So what does Jiren do? He pulls more power from deep within the depths of his anus. And once he does that, he's able to fight on par with Ultra Instinct Goku, as well as actually land some hits on him. This isn't about raising your base power level. That is not what this is. Just simply raising your power level is not going to make you all of a sudden be able to hit someone who has Ultra Instinct. It's not about power levels. Ultra Instinct is a form that's basically saying, hey, power levels are bullshit. So it doesn't matter how much Jiren raises his power level, it shouldn't matter. He should still not be able to touch Goku. Especially when you consider the fact that when Goku was still in the unmastered form of Ultra Instinct after going into it the third time, he was able to just completely fight circles around Jiren. So Jiren's power really shouldn't matter because Jiren does not have Ultra Instinct. So with this episode, with this fight, what it has done is it has completely fucked up the concept of Ultra Instinct. And Ultra Instinct now, as the way this episode has presented it, is nothing more than simply another transformation. That's it. Because transformations, they multiply your power level, and right now Ultra Instinct is being treated as such. So they've already fucked up the concept. It's like the writers realize that, oh shit, Ultra Instinct is way too overpowered, so we're gonna nerf it just for the sake of this battle. But in doing so, you took what would otherwise be a good episode and you really fucked up with the continuity, because Dragon Ball Super has been fucking up its own continuity. It fucks the holy shit out of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z's continuity, but when it comes to its own, it gives its own continuity the same treatment. Rules of different techniques and forms constantly get changed in order to fit the story, and there's no established set of rules that stick in the long run. Just like it's Super Saiyan Blue. At first they said, hey, that's not a draining form, and then they say, oh no, it is a draining form, and I was like, make up your fucking mind, which is it? But not only that, but the method in which Goku achieves the mastered form of Ultra Instinct is also greatly fucked up. Because, well, Goku seemingly masters Ultra Instinct through the power of friendship. He keeps thinking about those that he's fighting for, and all of a sudden, he masters the form. Just like that. No, like, having to train to be able to master the form and understand it. He just all of a sudden thinks of everybody and he masters the form. Because this brings me to my next point about Ultra Instinct, where it's also known as the secret of selfishness. However, Goku has been showcased to be very selfless when it comes to Ultra Instinct, because the secret of selfishness, that really makes a lot of sense for this form, because it is all about self-preservation. It's not about fighting for others, because here's the thing about the power of friendship. That has not really been a thing within Dragon Ball. It doesn't matter if you have a cheerleading squad. That doesn't mean shit if you don't have the power to take on your opponent, and then you just plain and simply don't. When they took Ultra Instinct here and made it all about the power of friendship, it's like, what the fuck is this? Fairy Tail? Is this Natsu versus every big bad of Fairy Tail ever? Where he gets his ass whooped, thinks about his friends, and then all of a sudden pulls more power out of his ass to be able to beat the enemy? What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh? Is this pretty much Yugi having a cheerleading squad and believing in the heart of the cards and draws the exact card that he fucking needs at the exact moment he fucking needs it, despite the fact that card games don't work that way. It's like, no. The power of friendship, this is what the power of friendship has gotten. When Goku was fighting Frieza on planet Namek, he had his cheerleading squad, but what did that matter? It didn't matter anything. The most that they were even able to do is just buy some time for him, but they had to physically go in to help him out. It's not like just simply having a cheerleading squad was gonna make the difference. And then hell, even when he threw the spirit bomb onto Frieza, it's like, okay, yeah, your friends are backing you up, but that doesn't mean shit because now Frieza completely no-sold the attack. It did fuck all to him, so he shoots Piccolo and blows up Krillin. So it's like, okay, there you go. That's what your power of friendship has gotten you. And then you also have Goku versus Cell. Goku had his cheerleading squad like backing him up, but it doesn't matter. He was not strong enough to beat Cell. Because it's not just simply having the power of friendship on your side. That right there on its own does not bridge the gap in power. Because when you have the Super Saiyan transformation, this isn't Goku thinking about, his friends and loved ones. This is Goku absolutely pissed the fuck off, and then he becomes mentally unhinged and he lets everything go in order to achieve the form. So it's not power of friendship, it's plain and simply, this is a pissed off Goku that we're looking at here. So power of friendship really doesn't mean shit. And when it comes to the story beats that this episode has been giving us, it's like, okay, Goku is fighting for his loved ones, this is for the fate of his universe. It's like, okay, we've already pretty much gone through that during the Majin Buu saga, but instead of just Goku having a cheerleading squad, Goku's friends contributed energy to him to make a spirit bomb powerful enough to destroy Majin Buu. So it's like, this whole thing about Ultra Instinct all of a sudden becoming a power of friendship sort of thing, they've just completely fucked up what it was. And like I said, maybe it's because they realized that they wrote themselves in a corner by having Ultra Instinct be too overpowered, so they decided to give it a nerf. And then my next point brings me to Jiren. Jiren becomes a worse and worse character with each passing episode. He gets overpowered by the likes of Ultra Instinct Goku, and then that's where he pretty much starts having flashbacks to his childhood, thinking of back when he was at a moment of weakness and when he felt helpless. But the thing about this is, Jiren has no good excuse to be in this situation. This is something that I've constantly been saying. Jiren, you could have easily have gotten rid of everybody at this point. So when it came down to just you versus the rest of Universe 7, you have no good excuse for not taking them out when you could have. It's like you spent all that time just beating the fuck out of Vegeta instead of getting rid of him when you should have. And now here we are, it's pretty much just now down to you, and you're getting your ass booked by Ultra Instinct, and pretty much at this point, Jiren is really coming off as a whiny little crybaby, where it's like, no, 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 strength is absolute, strength is justice, no, I'm not gonna lose, I refuse to lose. It's like, motherfucker. You could have won. You just spent all this time dicking around because this series just had to make it come down to a dick measuring contest between Goku and yourself. They just bypassed so many characters, 80 characters just for this final battle. And then when it comes right down to it, Jiren, his backstory is just working against him at this point because his backstory, it's nothing that I can even pretend to give a fuck about, because Jiren, his backstory, it was just so hastily told to us. Just all of a sudden Belmont just starts flapping his gums about Jiren's backstory, and it's like, it's so rushed, it's so by the numbers. It's like, you can't just throw somebody's backstory onto me. You can't just force it on me and expect me to give a shit about it. So this is why Jiren, he is just gotta be one of the most bland, forgettable characters ever, because, well, when we get to the point where the next big strong guy comes out, Jiren just really doesn't have anything. It's like, Jiren at first looked like he was the strong silent type, but, you know, now we see just what Jiren is. Jiren is pretty much a crybaby, constantly crying about his past. And at this point, he expects everyone to give a shit about it, which I can't even pretend to do that. I could not give any fucks. I am completely out of fucks to give for Jiren's backstory because it's just so slapped on to the story and it just really doesn't even have much presence because at this point, what does it fucking matter? And then Jared, of course, pulls more and more power out of his ass. Like, what is the source of his power? Fuck if I know. How did he get that strong? Fuck if I know. It's just, at this point, we have Jiren. We're having Goku and Jiren. They're putting on a well animated fight. The fight looks good. But once you really settle it down and just think back to it, you'll just see just how empty and meaningless this fight already is, because it's just repeating story beats that we've gotten before. It's like we've gotten these same sort of story beats before, and it's just doing it the second time in a row just really isn't gonna help anybody's case here. And then afterwards, Goku, he's got Jiren right where he wants him. So Goku can just eliminate Jiren, but then all of a sudden Goku starts getting destroyed from the inside out from his own Ultra Instinct ability. It's like, how the fuck is that even a thing? It's like, I thought you said he mastered it. So he mastered it and he can't even maintain it for a full episode, for a full minute, because each episode has been taking up a full minute. Dragon Ball minutes are slow as fuck. So he mastered it and he's already getting destroyed by it. Do you know what the word mastered means? Like back when Goku mastered Super Saiyan, which he trained to do, by the way, he was able to become Super Saiyan at will. He didn't need to be pissed off. It didn't put any sort of a strain on his body. And at that point, Super Saiyan became just as easy as breathing to him. So we pretty much just make Ultra Instinct look even worse than this episode has already been making it look, because this episode just couldn't keep the facts correct on what the fuck Ultra Instinct is. It's just so fucking stupid that it has come down to this. It's like Goku seemingly mastered the form. However, right now it looks like Goku's not gonna be able to keep the form up anymore, and he likely won't go Ultra Instinct again, probably for the rest of however the fuck they just want to keep milking this franchise on. So it's like all of this is just one huge waste of our time, because, well, Ultra Instinct is too overpowered. The writers know that, so they gotta pretty much take it from him somehow, I guess. Even though when it comes to Goku being destroyed by the power, it's like, shouldn't that have happened when Goku was trying to master it the third time? Like, if he failed, that would be the end result? I think that would have made much more sense than what the fuck we got, but oh well. There's only one episode left, so Goku's out for the count, but as it turns out, not only is Frieza still around, but so is Android 17, which I say, okay, 17, I didn't buy the whole you blew yourself up thing anyway, because you don't even have a fucking bomb, and no, you didn't use the final explosion either. So it's like, okay, so we're gonna have the next episode, which is gonna wrap up Dragon Ball Super, and it's like, how the fuck are they possibly gonna end this? Because, well, at this point, Frieza and 17 only need to run down the clock. That's all the fuck they need to do. So it's just, it just comes down to the point where how exactly are they going to end this series? Is this series going to have like a satisfying conclusion, or is it just going to be a fucking cliffhanger ending that the upcoming movie will tie up the loose ends for? I really don't fucking know. And at this point, I'm just really glad that it's almost over now. Next episode will be the last episode of Dragon Ball Super, and I just can't wait to be done with this series already, because this series has been such a dog shit series from beginning to end. So what do you guys think of this? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Also like and subscribe for more content. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. Have a good day, everyone. This is Trace, signing out.